Netrunner players, fanatics, fans, which is short for fanatics, and lovers. My name is Steven.
And I am Tim.
And we've got a top 16 match from Worlds 2015 with two of the people's champions, David Hoyland all the way from the UK, and Dien. Old Dien from Canada. The Canadian Wrangler.
Playing some Valencia.
The Strangler of Canada.
Strangler.
The great Northern Hope. That's what Dien is.
That's what we call him.
That's what we call him. There's David Hoyland. He's going to play his HB food, and we've seen him do this. And just pay attention, guys. This is going to be a good game. I can assure you of that.
Here's the thing. These are two of the better players in the world.
Two of the more fascinating players too, because we got Dien over here. He's running a straight up Val. Let's just play good cards deck.
I hear that you've been known to run that deck once or twice, Steven.
Man after my own heart. Not as well as Dien does, I'm sure. Pulls the Street Peddler out here.
That's a good card.
Yeah, and he's not doing any shenanigans. Spoiler alert on this one, guys. There's no DLR stuff going on here. This is just straight to basics, which has me so excited. We got a daily cast coming out after a couple of sure gambles. Welcome to Moneytown.
Those are some good-looking credits Dien's using.
They are, aren't they? You can get your set from teamcovenant.com/data-tokens.
Data-tokens,
and
classic.
Gosh, do we sure love it, because it keeps these videos on the air. We got David Hoyland installing a remote over there. What is it?
He's going up to 8 money, Steven, without doing nothing.
Is that an Adonis? Now, he's been known to do crazy stuff. One of those could be a beta test, so keep your eyes peeled.
I bet it's a global food.
Is Dien gonna...
hanging out.
Is Dien gonna roll with it?
No.
Look at Street Peddler being the greatest card ever printed.
It's really good. The only problem with Street Peddler is whenever you use it, and it's like, inject, gamble, gamble.
Well, see, I'll tell you, really, the problem with Street Peddler is my favorite cards in this game are called events. And when I use Street Peddler, which I kind of feel like I have to most of the time, I don't want to run events. And so it's kind of an anti-synergy with my own taste.
But here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's just like they were on the bottom of your deck.
It's true.
But you found the card that you needed.
I know. I totally understand.
Unless they're all 3 events, and then you're just like, shoot.
There's fallacies here, but at the same time, I just like to see them. I like to have them in my hand. All right, so we're running the remote using the bad publicity before we even access.
Get an imp, probably. Nope.
To get Wildside out for a 1 credit discount, and just say, Dien's saying, I'm not interested in trashing whatever it is that you have there, but I'm going to see it. It's an Eve. Great call, Dien. Great call. Nobody wants to trash that Eve unless it's up. And losing a clone chip, how about that, right? That is also one of the killer things.
But here's the thing: he has a wild side now. So
I know
he's gonna find the clone
I know
chips.
he does. It's the right thing. It hurts me because clone chips are just like, they're like crack. I mean, they're like
crack.
You
another
play 'em
Eve.
out. So good.
Put it out there. Make him check it. One's draw. It's like an Adonis. He's just got all the assets this game.
He's got all the assets, all the money.
Look at them assets.
I wonder if Val's got Scrubbers in tow. I'm gonna bet that she does. I'll tell you what. I try to play Scrubbers. And then I'm like, gosh, Imp is just so much better. And then I try to play Imps, and I'm like, Scrubber's better. And then I usually end up playing neither, actually. Not that anyone out there is interested in what I'm doing, because I'm talking and not playing in the top 16 here. Dave's got, it looks like an ABT in hand. I think that's the only one that he's stuck with right now. That's an accelerated beta test for those at home who are new to the game. It's a 3-2 agenda that doesn't ever trigger.
It triggers.
You're right.
Into tears.
We have this conversation.
Triggers into tears.
Dave just gets a credit playing it cool.
He's just gaining money. Here's the thing.
Playing it cool.
HB food, getting money.
I wonder if he knows. I wonder if he is aware that Dien isn't on the massive DLR train.
I think as soon as you see the clone chip, you know.
I think, once you see the clone chip for sure. And even the wild side, I think, is a bit of an indicator. Right?
I mean, you can see wild side, like a more aggressive DLR because you're using Faust still.
That's absolutely true. All right, so now we have an Architect over HQ gets res, one of the best pieces of ice in this game to date. That's going to let Dave there check the top of his deck, the top 5 cards, install 1 if he chooses to do so.
Ignoring all costs.
And then he can do the same thing from his hand or archives, his choice.
Which will probably be that Adonis that was trashed a minute ago.
Yeah, and this is, I've said it before a million times to myself in my head, when I'm preparing for games, when I'm playing games, whatnot. Once one of those assets has been trashed, I have such a hard time face checking. I feel like if I'm going to face check that central ice, I really want to do it early. You get that Architect up, they maybe install something from hand, which is fine, and then it's over. But losing 3 credits essentially, or 2, I guess in Dien's case, and then having it come right back on the board for free is just
Brutal.
Tough cookies, man.
It's tough cookies.
It's
Where is that ice right now?
tough cookies. Oh, Dave
Okay.
protecting 2 servers and then decides to start a new one. So,
Which should have given him money.
and now you wonder, is he going to install the agenda from hand into that new server? Is it a
Or the
Turing?
Adonis
Is it? If that's a
behind
Turing,
it.
that looks really good. There's the Adonis. Okay, so no, he's going to play it cool. I guess he's got to honor the blackmail here. And gets an access from HQ. Could be a big one. These early accesses, you really need like 2 points in the first few turns. No!
Trash it.
Season Ash, gonna trash it.
Get that ash out of here.
Not bad, not bad.
I will trash an ash any day of the week.
Yeah,
Steven.
absolutely. I mean, it's... Oh, and look, I think Dave's sitting on 2... Is that 2 agendas in hand? He has
Yep.
2 Vitruvius in hand.
Too true.
Just squeaking out. And that Architect gonna lock that HQ down.
You
for a
can't run
while.
through it.
He can't, no, he cannot run through it.
I mean, you
You're so right.
can, but it's the wrong call.
All right, and then runs through the Adonis. So trying to force the res there, but Dave's saying, no, you can have it again. And so just imagine the actions and the money that it took to trash that Adonis twice. Bummer.
It's about 2 actions and 4 money.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's right.
Classic.
Classic math.
What they say. So we got a thinker over here, Dave. I think he wants to try to score an agenda here.
He does.
Put the
You
pressure
can
on.
see it. You can see it in his hands. He's just anytime Dave's not scoring agendas, he feels awkward. There's the Eve coming up. He's gonna get a couple of credits back for that. Little trash talk going on. Little friendly trash talk for those that aren't aware that that's the case.
The best kind of trash talk.
Just a little ribbing. Little ribbing.
Maybe a little riffing.
The international scene is very much a ribbing community.
All of the R words.
Big Canada on the left,
Big Canada.
and the Island Man himself on the right. Just cranking out nicknames today. If any of those stick,
The
I will
Island
be
Man?
the Island Man. Dave the Island Hoyland. Let's call him the Island. I like that.
Okay, I accept.
I accept it.
And then Dean is Big Canada now. I accept. I like this. I'm in.
Oh man, I hope so.
Data suck.
There's a data sucker. Actually, not. You know what? Data sucker. Not a whole lot of favor coming on. Looks like he's just gonna bank some credit or some tokens there on archives. Oh, Dean, a man after my own heart. You just need him. You know that play's been good since core set, and it's still good, guys. Don't let anybody tell you different.
You know what makes it better?
What's that?
Desperado.
It sure does. Sure
What
does.
a card. Do we know Dean's console in this deck?
We don't. We don't at all. Nope. Now there's rumors always with Dean running mem strips. I mean, there's always those rumors. And you're only running mem strips, you run a turntable. So I would bet that's...
Is that the rule? You run mem strips and
You
turntable?
can't run mem strips with Grimoire or you're doing it so wrong.
What about mem strips with Desperado?
Can't even tell you. Yeah, maybe, but there's no way he's got the influence for that, right? I mean, he actually technically does at this point, given what we've seen, but... Blackmail over on the side and sees
Trashing
the
it.
Adonis. Dean thought he might sneak through an agenda there, I think. I think he was a little...
I mean, I think that you're okay with trashing an Adonis as well, though.
He's also sniping those Adonises like it's going out of style.
You have to keep HB off as much money as possible.
Yeah, oh, it's so true.
You have to.
It's so true. But what happens, I mean, do you not, knowing that you have the black man hand, do you not wait for him to res the Adonis? Are you worried that he's going to breaker bay and then res it? I mean,
Well, he doesn't know that's an Adonis, right?
yeah, that's true.
So he's banking on an
That's
agenda,
true.
but he's okay with trashing it.
That's true, yeah. I mean, once you're there, of course you have to trash it. That was just a gut check. And it wasn't an agenda. But I like...
short math there.
I like Dean taking that chance, actually, the more that I think about it.
I mean, Dean's only seen, what, 12, 15 cards of his deck?
Yep.
20? I don't know.
Only so many.
I'm not counting.
There goes Dave, going to install, gaining himself a credit.
This is where you get the Vitruvius out.
He's probably hoping to burn another blackmail here. I wonder if Dean's going to bend over backwards here to get this. And there's... Okay, so that looks interesting. That is just called the old HP sandwich. I'm not sure exactly...
There's so much trash that could
Ever
be,
since
Steven.
Breaker Bay Grid came out, man,
Could be so much trash.
it's just... You may as well just take a pick. There we go. So we got Street Peddler coming in. What do you got for sale today, Mr. or Mrs. Street
I
Peddler?
just like to imagine the street player. Oi, oi, oi.
What do you...
Check out my fare for today.
Anyone need a Desperado
It's also a bard.
clone chip?
It's a bard peddler.
Does anyone need an Armitage code busting contract?
I'm selling it.
You can make it work, man. You can make it all work. Use your imagination. Everything's flavorful.
You want to buy a Joshua B?
There's another clone chip. Mainlining those clone chips now. Dien just putting it in. Looks like, are we using that Eve to get the chronotype out for free there? And there's a turntable.
Is he running 2 consoles, though?
Boy, don't you love Plascrete just getting eaten by that Street Peddler. So good. It looks like an Archives run there, getting the Data Stalker token and also making a cheaper chronotype with that bad publicity. Now remember, bad publicity only available during a run. So that's why Dien's using that.
How busted is chronotype Wildside?
It's pretty good, man.
It's so good.
It's pretty good. So good, I don't want to run
6 actions the rest of the turn.
I know, it's crazy.
The game
It's
is 6
just a
actions
problem.
from now on.
It's a problem.
No, let me just get 2 free cards every turn, Steven.
You know, it happens. Sometimes it just does nothing too, though. And it was an agenda. The Island scoring the Vitruvius
Classic
there.
Truth play by the
That is
Island.
killer. That's called a 3-2, now offering a bit of a taunt there to his opponent.
Hiya!
Both players laughing it off and now coming back to business. Look at Dien. He has done a great job of just getting that early pressure, allowing the tempo to kind of smooth out. Now he's got his wild side engine set up. He's going to be drawing 2 cards a turn. Got a couple of clone chips out. And now is where it gets good, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention.
He's putting on a clinic.
This is a clinic happening. We have 2 Eve campaigns ticking down, okay?
And we also have 16 money by the HP player.
That is a real problem. A little more table talk. A little more ribbing going on.
Why are you using that I've had worse, bro? I'm gonna kill you.
I'm going to kill you. There's the liberated account. The hard way.
Here's what Dien is doing right now. He's saying, I don't think you have another agenda right now. I'm gonna get money so I can defend whenever you do. But here's the thing. He does have another agenda.
I mean, I feel, if Dave makes an install play on the agenda here, I feel like Dien can explode into R&D. He's got, I have to imagine he's going to have the breakers that he needs very, very soon. I don't even know, his discard pile might actually have 1 or 2 already. I think he really just needs to see a Mimic here to feel safe. Discarding I've Had Worse is a pretty good sign that he feels comfortable with what he's got.
Oh, he's got a medium thinking about discarding it. Boom.
Oh, yeah, but that brings
Clone
it out
chip.
with Clone Chip if you need it.
How good is Clone Chip?
And if Dave gives you that R&D, then boom, boom.
Dave, getting money for days.
Moneying up. There's the Eve campaigns trickling in 2 apiece. And you got to think that Dien has led up to this matchup saying, I don't trash Eve campaigns, period. Now, maybe that's not exactly the case. Obviously, there are circumstances, but you have an unprotected Eve, been there from the beginning. But Dien just can't wreck his economy to deal with it.
It's just so brutal.
It's very, very brutal, yes.
It's like, oh, I don't want you to have 12 free credit, or 14. It's 12.
I think it's 12
credits.
free, yeah. I've done the math on it a few times. Not that that should be trusted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, math.
Math.
How does that work?
I don't know. Just guesses.
Math nuts.
It's a series of guesses.
That's all math really is.
No, it's true. Dave looking around, looking at this board. His very presence having an impact.
The island.
Installing over R&D. Wiping it off. Offering a counter. Do you want to clone chip that? What do you want to do? You want to clot it?
You want to clop my no agenda play?
Boom. Let's zoom out a little bit. And then
back in.
A card goes in. A card goes in.
Out
What
and in,
is it?
Steven.
What is it?
It's a Vitruvius, Steven.
Is it an agenda?
Yes.
Is it an Ash or a Caprice there?
It's an Ash.
Okay. Boy, that looks like a good time to play an Ash agenda there, doesn't it?
The no money turn?
Yeah, the no money turn is a big turn. Gets his 2 cards from Wildside. And now, do we have some cash? Obviously, we need it.
12 run.
Thank you for using those data tokens, Dien. They do look good, don't they? Love them. I love them. Tons of cards there in the yard to choose from. Is that an SMC? I thought I saw an SMC.
I mean, it's Dien, so probably.
Yeah, Dien, he plays a, man, it's just, what
Oh, it
cards
was
do I
an
need?
SMC.
He's got an SMC, he's got a Yogg in there, looks like. Is that Ottman as well? Is that Ottman in there?
Maybe.
Ooh, gun point in there. See that?
Pow.
That's an intimidating point
Pow.
from the island there. Mr. Dave Hoyland.
Boy Island, am I right?
Ah,
No?
not sure. Look at that trash can over here. We got Ash, 2 Adonises, and a hedge fund. Tells the story of this game. Dean's gonna click once, click twice, liberate those accounts. A scrubber. And finally, for my last number, blackmail the last remote. And here we go. Here come to Ash, right? Gonna be able to trash that Ash for free. Reasonable. Trace is, he's probably gonna have to pump it. I mean, maybe.
Sure. Pump it by 2, whatever.
Yeah, I think we'll see. We'll see if he spins it.
He's got all the money, it's fine.
Not a bad pump. All right, come on, Dave. What's it gonna be? Yeah, he's gonna bump this Trace up. Starts at a 4. Dean's got that bad pubs. It's gonna have to be 3. He's got to pump it by 3 here. Make it a 7. There he goes. Trace 7. Ash dies for free. That's the kind of efficiency we're looking for in this game.
We like free trashes.
Free trashes, free anything.
It's like it was an imp, but different.
It is like that, isn't it?
But different.
It's a lot, yeah, but different, but a lot like that, ultimately. Dave's still just in the money all day, and he's going to score this one out, right? You got to score this out.
Yes.
Dean just he's taken his time setting up. You notice there's not a lot of central pressure happening. No ice on R&D as res, only the Architect defending. No ice really on the board at all.
No real programs have been installed.
Nothing's been happening. These guys are jockeying. This is a classic jockey maneuver.
Cheers.
And a toast. A water toast.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, that does sound gross. I think I've had that before. All right, is Dave going to score this out? Of course he is. Yeah. Here's 3 for the Vitruvius.
Classic 1, 2, 3, Vitruve.
Vitruve, 3-2.
I wonder if Dave's going to trigger it.
So now we're 1 global food away.
Yeah,
we're 1 global food away from this game being over. Can Dean get in this? Can he take this thing over? He's got plenty of cash.
I don't know, Steven. It's hard to come back from 4-0.
Ooh, installs a Katie and an SMC look like? Was that a Katie down there?
Mm-hmm. In the mode, Katie. Pass and turn.
Wow, yeah, so this is very serious setup.
He's building more.
And what he's got to worry about, though, is, get this remote going, put another piece of ice, put a Caprice down, and then once that food goes in, you're side gaming, man.
You're out of time.
You're out of time. You got to try to win that side game. And Dave, one of the wiliest side gamers of all time, we've seen him perform admirably in the side game, since it is a skill-based decision.
100%.
About 80%.
That's fair. Not 1 out of 3 times.
And we're going to push it here. So Dave installs the ice over. He's starting to set that thing up and installs in. If that's Caprice and he's got food in hand, I mean, it's a glorious setup for him, but also that could be the gas pedal here for Dean. He knows he probably has to get in here at this point.
This is definitely the gas pedal turn for Dean.
Start making it happen.
For Big Canada.
For Big Canada himself. And there's the final liberated account. Click for 4. Can't argue with that. My favorite click in Netrunner.
Clicking for 4?
Yeah.
Mine's probably Purge.
And indeed, running archives for a data sucker counter. Going to 5 counters. That's going to allow him to pull in a parasite and blow up anything. Ichis, assassins, this kind of thing.
Not an Ashigaru, though.
Ashigaru? Dave, you wild man. Is that Ashigaru?
That is Ashigaru.
You sure that's Ashigaru?
Oh, yeah.
No way. Is that Ashigaru? Dave, is there an Ashigaru?
It looks like it.
Well, we'll see how many parasites. It could be. I'm not... All right, so...
It's Ashigaru, man.
Yeah, this is called ice destruction, guys. It's where you kill the ice with parasites.
I've heard of this strategy before.
Man, that costs a lot. And there goes... No, there goes 5. That's not Ashigaru. That's Assassin. Look at it. There it goes. Boom.
Assassin.
Yeah, it's Assassin.
I wish it was an Ashigaru.
I do too, kind of. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter, but...
Turing. Oh, no.
There's the Turing. And David comes out.
Oh, wow.
No, wait. There's no David there.
He's SMCing for it, I think.
Yeah, SMC's.
Wow. That's an expensive run. It's just going to be Caprice.
Yeah, and there's the David. So yeah, so brings the modifying code back in there, grabs the David, breaks it for 1. Those gorgeous power counters.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me for a second. All right, we got a little bit of skip. Looks like we lost a little footage there.
Oh, you got a beta test.
Yeah, rolled in there, grabbed the beta test.
Dave was going for it.
He was trying to push that right through. Yep.
I just knew that was a Caprice.
And it looks like Dave that next turn. What did he do? He had some money. Looks like he installed get an upgrade there on R&D.
Looks like it.
And now Dien is starting to really blow up. He's got the Mimic. It's going to be 1 credit to get into HQ. Gets to see whatever this card is. It's the NAPD, and he steals it. And oh my gosh, it's 4-4. We got ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Where did this come from?
It came from Clone Chips, man.
Where did it go?
It came from Clone Chips SMCs. I mean, this is exactly what you do. This is it. Dien, Big Canada making a statement here. Goodness gracious.
This will not stand, man.
This just blew up, and he's still got a Clone Chip left.
This will not stand, man.
It just blew right up. And now we've got a fierce board. HQ super vulnerable. Dave looks like installs into that remote server because HQ you just can't count on it anymore. Now Dien's got no money. Okay.
Okay.
So he may be sitting on Liberateds, maybe sitting on Sure Gambles.
You hope it's not Liberated.
How does he recover? Does he just click? Does he click it?
He has a Katie Jones down there.
Oh, he does have a Katie Jones, but she needs to start getting some cash on her.
And start getting paid.
So 3 credits and click for Katie? Is that what we're doing, really? $3.
$3
and Katie. All right. See, I'm just as good as Dien.
Just as good.
I knew to do that. Guys, I knew.
Hey, that Eve finally ticked down.
It did. It's gone. Well, Dave's not wanting for cash here, but man, it sure does disappear whenever you
res a toll booth.
Start resing things. Yeah, he can res exactly 3 toll booths right now, and that's it. It's kind of funny when you put it in those terms, isn't it?
That's how I usually measure money is in toll booths.
And Dave sneaks out the beta test with Dien on no money, and it's now 6-4.
I think you trigger it, Steven.
Right now?
Just kidding.
I don't know. You've only got 6 pieces of ice on the board.
He's only running 6 in the deck.
And we've seen 5 agendas. I mean, it actually says it's a pretty good trigger. Now, not that you would ever do that, Dave. He's thinking about it, probably. He's just thinking about it.
I think it's a fair trigger.
It's a fair trigger, but do you actually do it in the first game of the top 16?
I mean, it is
the island. Do you risk just dumping 4 points into archives and losing?
Yes.
Are you that far behind?
No, but yes.
I think these are all rhetorical questions.
I am a very big fan of rhetoric.
I know you are.
That was rhetorical.
What do we got?
Credit gamble?
Yeah, we got...
Nope.
Nope, we're just going to go check out. What is that card? It's an Adonis, no bigs.
Scrub it.
Yeah, scrub it up.
What a scrub.
Scrub it up. And more money on Katie. So now Dien is rolling, and this is called the Anarch late game, Tim.
The clicking for credits making 1 run?
Yeah, well, not that exactly, but this is essentially it, right? Like, you've got your data suckers going. 2, to be fair. You've got a David for all the Turing and Assassin nonsense. You got Mimic, gonna fight off the Architects. And you've got a clone chip for Parasite, so you can kill the Eli's or whatever that pops up. You've got your KD money engine. You've got a scrubber going to trash things. You got 2 cards a turn. I mean, it does not look better for the red cards. This is just incredible. Incredible.
It ain't bad. The only problem I can see is if a low strength Kage and a barrier are rezzed in the same run.
That's true. And there's the Yogg in the yard right now. Ooh, Dien taking it back. Will the island let him? And switches it out for an Ottman. And that's going to solve whatever problems need to be solved. Yogg, a very specific answer. Ottman, a more universal answer, and oftentimes more expensive. Trying to get an Ottman 4 going here. Dien's just going to need to find a lot of cash real quick. Dave draws his card. And now takes a look. And now this is just intense Netrunner, guys. I can feel it.
If he didn't draw it, 2 has to be drawn, right?
He could. Here's the thing. He could try to sneak one out here, but he's got Katie on 6. Is Dave going to try to sneak this?
The classic island sneak.
This is a classic island sneak. Oh, but what if he...
Double sneak.
Yeah, what if he throws it in the far? No way. He wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, he would.
It's only one David counter away from...
That's the problem. You have to check both of them.
You got to check both with this wily Hoyland
They
at
both
the
might
table.
not be anything. Or they both might be something.
You got to watch out, man.
Here's the thing. Dean has to steal 2 agendas to win.
He does.
If both of those are agendas, I think Dave might be winning here.
He might win the game here. There's the turntable. Not going to matter too much. Just MU right now. Running the outside remote. Spinning a David counter. He's going to access that card. And it's nothing but a Chrysium grid, but you got to check it. That's the problem. Dean knows it. I know it. You can't let Dave get that on
Zorak know it?
Not going to trash that one. That's probably the correct play. Dave now trying to get in his head. He's totally trying to distract him from this other remote, but it's not going to work because there's a stim hack.
Stim hack from downtown. With a clone trip and an Otman.
He's going to get everything out that he wants.
This looks pretty good.
Everything out.
Why don't you just be another Chrysium, Steven?
No, I don't know that it's an agenda, but regardless, this is a high-value run for Dean no matter which way you slice it. If he gets an agenda at the end of it, all the better. But otherwise, it's just an Otman at 4 is what it looks like to me. With a little bit of potentially even some other stuff.
Some Dane damage?
Yeah, we'll definitely get that. Definitely get that. So Dave, is he going to show his ice here? Is he going to show his hand? I don't know. I think Dean's going to go. I mean, the best I think you can do is try to get him to pull out a breaker that he doesn't want to pull out. Put Otman at some stupid number or... just not have the answer. Like Assassin would be kind of cool here, right? It's like, what do I do? I guess you can just break it with Mimic, so that's not actually true at all. We're just talking it out.
Just ice things.
And Dave looking at the options here. What can he pull in? Looks to be really just an Otman here at some level. He's got an SMC as well, of course, so I guess that opens up everything possible.
Barely.
Probably not the Yogg. I think Dean's probably on 1 Yogg.
I think most people are on 1 Yogg, if any.
I'm thinking about going to 2. Nah, maybe not. 0 credits is a good amount. All right, Dave, what do you got here? There's the Ichi-1.
Ichi-1.
I think Otman 4 is the play here. You can also break it with Mimic. You probably just break it with Mimic. Yeah, start it off. Break it with Mimic. Yeah, he's going to break all 3 there. Reses the Caprice. So now what happens? Now what do you do? Do you pull it?
You pay for an Otman on 4.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. No, that is not an Otman on 4.
Well, he's paying for the strength now.
There it is.
Otman on 4. And then you play a side game. And then if you win the side game, you trash it. If you don't, you don't.
But like, what if what ice are we gonna res here? Okay, we're not resing any ice. There it goes. Here's the side game. Just for Caprice trashing, it's really important.
Can they decide?
Oh, all the jokes today. Definitely had our morning coffee.
Psych.
Psych. Recording this at 2 a.m. There it is. Dave winning with a couple of credits in hand.
Which you pay every time.
The Caprice remains. And the brain damage is here. Here we go. There's the Parasite in the yard.
Persit.
Ooh, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good pull there for Dave.
It ain't bad, Steven.
Because we're out of clone chips, Tim. Remember, we lost one of the Street Peddler, and then we've used 2, so that Parasite is out of the game.
Until Dean uses his Levy Lab AR access.
I don't think that's happening. You and I both know that. Dave drawing his card. And now looking at the board. So he's got a Caprice up. Now, Dave could just put the food down and play side games 4 times if he wanted. Or he could protect it. I think he's going to try to give himself another turn here.
Does he have the food? Do we know that?
I don't know that he has the food, no.
I don't think he would do it
I
with
would
one card in
imagine
hand.
if he had it, he would have installed it because it's too dangerous in hand. Unless he's just putting
Brave.
it on the table there, you know?
Unless he's
Dave
brave.
does do that from time to time.
I mean, Dean's going to check it.
I don't even know. I don't think he wants food even. I think he just wants to play for 3-2s at this point.
I mean, he'll take whatever he can get.
He'll take anything. Yeah, I've got food in my head, but like he doesn't need it anymore. I forget he's on 6. And it looks like Dean sees an Architect in hand there. And
Viper.
boom, there's that crazy res. You see that? He was aggressive. There's the Viper.
Break.
Yeah, he's gonna break with Atman. And there's another Ichi. Cost 3 to break. And we see this tax starting to pile up here. And he's gonna snack cess. And look at Dave's money just gone away. 5 credits to speak of. And wants to access the top card. It's an Assassin. And then the upgrade, Chrysium. Ah, that's tough
You
because
can't trash it.
you like data suckers, but yeah, you can't.
He doesn't have the money.
Doesn't have the cash.
Also, worth noting, Dave out of money now.
Yes, totally out, right? He's got 5 credits to his name.
From nowhere.
Yeah, and so now we get into really sketchy territory. HB has slowed down here. I think Dave has completely lost tempo in this game. Dean having his economy engine going is getting 2 cards, some Katie money every few turns. And Dave just sitting on 5 credits. I don't think he can get an asset up at this point.
Okay, putting something
Installs
on the
on top of
Crisium.
the Crisium grid. And gains some money. There's 7 credits. Dean drawing his 2. Almost out of deck here.
Oh, Steve, what is happening?
Gaining cash from Katie.
Gamble.
Sure gamble. Better get those credits.
He will.
There we go, yeah. It's way better. All right, now it's 10 credits. What do you do? What do you do? Where do you take your shot? Costs you 5 to hit R&D. It's still such a disaster. That is too much.
It only costs you 4 if you run last click.
That's true.
And only 3 if you want to take a trace.
That's also true. Yep, quick 4 run R&D. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to cost him only 3 because of the bad putt. That's reasonable. For a shot at the top, he's going to run the trace here. I mean,
Why don't you just pay 1?
I don't know why you don't just pay 1. You're going to pay 1 no matter what.
Maybe he wants him to spend money?
Maybe. I mean, this is just a gut check. Maybe they're just like saying, hey, maybe it's a intimidation play. All right. There's one. Snack cessing. See some ice. And trashes the Crisium, so setting up those long-term data sucker counters. He's going to make a long play here on R&D, I think. Doesn't want that to go away. Finds himself on 5 credits. Probably as vulnerable as he's going to get, Tim.
Yeah.
This may be as vulnerable as he's going to get. Dave Rez on that Eve campaign. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, he knew he wasn't drawn into an agenda. He's got to clear that lockout. Sees something. Looks like maybe a Caprice. Going to gain some cash. And Dave just has to sit here and abide this as Dean...
The island abides.
The island does abide. No man is an island, as they say. And he's just going to start R&D lock in here. If you're paying 3 every turn...
He's got a stem hack.
That totally takes the agenda away from Dave there. Make him draw through to find his agendas, and he also has to try to get money. Just slows him way down. And Dean, knowing how much deck he has left,
Do you go trash that Eve?
I am extremely tempted to go trash that Eve, yes.
I understand that you're losing a David counter, but
I'm very tempted.
Dave is
I'm
on 6
very
money?
tempted. I'm glad that you mentioned that. I would be very tempted to do that.
like, you need to get your money the old-fashioned way, sir.
Looks like he's going to probably drop a Liberated here. Going up to 6 for something. Yep, there's Liberated. All right, so this is going to be probably as vulnerable as Dean gets. He's going to end the turn, looks like, with 4 credits. Liberated account is online. There's 3 on Katie.
I'm really tempted to trash that Eve instead of...
I think Dave drawing into an agenda there looks really good, or even there, and it just like he just didn't hit it. But I think he'd be willing to play this game, and maybe he did. Maybe he's just going to play this Caprice game and hope that Dien just breaks himself trying to get in there. And I wonder, where do you go? Do you go 2 on this? Because Dave bids 2 like none other.
Until he doesn't.
Exactly. Click 1 is liberated.
Look at all of those data cycle counters.
It's so beautiful. Click 2. Now, where do we go? See, you've got some options. He's also got a medium play here, but he's out of MU because he's running turntable. Dien, just run Grimoire, guys.
He's got a mem strips in his hand, bro.
I know, but look at the tempo he's going to lose. You got to do mem strips, medium, run. It's so bad. You can't do that. Mem strips David. Look at all that money go away just for MU. It drives me crazy. It drives me insane. There's a stim hack. So, who cares about the money? I'll just harvest my brain. All right, we're sim hacking. Where are we sim hacking? Into the remote here?
I think so.
Wow, that's bold.
One chance at that remote, man.
A lot of talk going on. Not rezzing anything, hitting the Ichi, and now we've got ourselves a side game. A lot of fancy math happening here. Not sure that it matters too much. And Dien thinks this may be the game. Dave throws a 3-2 on that. I mean, this is, right? Isn't that insane? How out of it he felt, and now all of a sudden it's down to a 1-1 or 2-1.
2-1.
Doesn't get it. And Dien probably thinks this one's over. Is it?
I don't know. It's possible.
And now little judging going on here. Lucas laying the hammer down. There we go. Excellent. Thank you. That's good judging right there. I think Dave already gained his 2, didn't he? Dien says, take it. I think Dave gained his 2 there.
I don't know.
I think he did, man. We'll see if it matters. It's a bummer. Dave draws a card, and Dien breathing a sigh of relief.
That's not an auto win.
It's not a win. Oh,
now, here's
man.
the thing. It could easily be a food still, though.
Would you do that? I guess. You'd do it instead of keeping it in hand. It could be a food.
That being said, I don't think it's a food. But crazier things.
I'm telling you, if he advances twice, I'm just running that remote immediately. I guess I need some money first. Liberated run, yeah, I think that's right. Dave trying to shore himself up here on R&D. I just don't know that it's gonna happen. And probably gaining cash. He's got a lot of ice in hand, and just not the money. How we've seen these credit pools crumble. Click 1 liberated. Got those mem strips. Click 2 liberated. Click 3 is Yogg. It's going to make R&D quite a bit cheaper there. At least 1 credit cheaper. If you're going last click there. And it also is a great Turing answer. So Dien's got nothing to worry about here. Blows right through Viper. And time on the round. Weird. Wait, that's time, Tim.
Resin the Caprice. Just let him trash 2.
All right, let him trash 2 because he has to, if this is an NAPD, he gets to tie it up, right? That's the idea here?
Yeah.
Because we know that the game, he will not get another turn after this.
Yeah. You bid 2?
Oh, no, because you need that NAPD, right? But Dave knows that.
He has 6 money total to spend.
Okay, so it's in hand already.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? 2 and 1?
I don't know, really.
Yeah, it was 2 and 1. and I think that one seals it up. Wow, what a bummer that game goes to time.
Whew.
Unbelievable. If he wins the Sai game, Global Food is the top card, and it's a tie game. It's a true tie. Who was higher seed? Dien was higher seed. He would have won that game if he wins that Sai game.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Crazy stuff.
Incredible, guys. That is just some Netrunner there. Woo! Man.
Netrunner.
I got that one in the fields. Dien's tokens there, most of them at least, are our data token line. Thank you, Dien, and to anyone else who's interested in those, please give them a look at our website, teamcovenant.com/data-tokens. And thank you guys for watching. We got more games coming from this tournament, and hope you enjoy.
See you guys there.